We're here with another episode of On the Gridiron, and we're here with a special person that we have in the SVG venue crew. She's with the San Francisco 49ers. She is Laura Johnson, Director of Game Day Presentation and Live Events. First of all, Laura, how are you doing personally? How's the rest of the team doing, and how is life near the Bay?
Good. We're good. Things were a little iffy there going into the home opener with some of the wildfires, going on around us. Definitely something that we had to monitor. So I have to give a shout out to all the first responders out there who are taking care of that and making sure that we all feel safe playing the game inside Levi Stadium. So huge shout out to all of them. And then yeah, it feels good to go through the home opener week one and have a little bit of rest now under our belt. But yeah, doing well overall. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Glad to hear everything's okay. And yeah, good theme to say about the frontline workers. We couldn't do anything without them. So you're going to hear the word content a lot in this interview because we have a whole lot of content to talk about because you guys are doing amazing things over there in San Francisco. We'll start before the season started. And if you watch the Venue Summit, we talked about this a little bit, but LJ can go a little bit deeper into it. What did you guys do in the offseason in terms of player acquisitions, trades, NFL draft, all of that?
Yeah, so it was an interesting time in the off season. We had to pivot from a lot of our in-person events to virtual. So we took our draft into a virtual space, right? In terms of coverage, we hosted an online event for fans to tune into, trying to give a little bit of that energy and excitement back to the fans that they're used to being a part of, trying to give them that sense of normalcy. And then as we moved through the off season, I think our next big one was we did a state of the franchise event with our front office staff, our team president, CEO, as well as coaching staff and the players, which was great and definitely a learning experience for all of us to kind of collaborate and put together a virtual event. But the numbers were outstanding in terms of viewership on that, and definitely something that we're going to look forward to in the future. We did stream that event previously, but it was really great to give the flexibility to our coaching staff as well as our players who would have had to physically go to an event in the past to be able to record this really from their homes or their hotels or wherever they were at. So it was really great in that regard. And then moving into media day, definitely a little bit unconventional for us. So we had to get a little creative there. I physically couldn't be on site to direct the players. We could only have a certain amount. So I was via Zoom.
Hi.
Well, hello there.
Yeah. How's it going?
That's the squad.
Hey
What's up,
there.
y'all?
Oh, hey there.
Oh, hey there.
Coaching up our players, getting some lines from them. We joked about us being inside of the computer, but all in all, it worked out really well. I think the guys got a good kick out of it, definitely got a good laugh and made them feel a little bit at ease. And then as we approached the games leading into it, definitely a different mindset, in terms of what we could do to hype up the players. I don't think there's anything that could have prepared us. I watched numerous videos that you conducted with other teams just to see what the mentality was going to be like without fans in the building. And frankly, there's nothing I think that could have prepared us for that stark contrast. The last time we were inside of Levi Stadium was the NFC Championship game. The energy was unreal, undeniable. And then to come into the home opener and there have, been no fans, it was a very stark contrast.
You guys have a loud stadium and your fans are pretty passionate, so I'm sure you're not used to hearing crickets on a Sunday afternoon. You mentioned a little bit about Media Day, how you weren't able to be there, but you relied on the access of some other people in terms of tier 1, tier 2, or just people that were on staff. Can you go a little bit deeper into how you're getting content, not from the sake of yourself, you may be locked off to some places, but how are you working together as a whole entire organization to get the content that you need for this year?
Yeah, so there's a certain amount, I'm sure everybody's familiar with this at this point in terms of the tier system, and there's a certain amount who are within those tiers who can capture. Our team photographers fall into that category, our social media team, as well as 49er Studios, the production arm, with our producer editors out there getting content that we can use, whether that's for, games, etc., right? Like using it for hype up videos and intro videos and things of that nature. But yeah, we're heavily reliant on the people who can actually be boots on the ground. And for those of us who can't be, it's a lot of this. It's a lot of Zoom calls. It's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of collaborating and trying to figure out how we can best work together to achieve that common goal.
Awesome. All right. The word of the hour is content. So here we go. We've been doing this for 5 minutes. We're going to say the word content again, but inside of the venue, you don't have fans in there. That's clear as day, but you guys are still doing a relatively normal show. And with the personalities that you have on your team, you got George Kittle, Jimmy Garoppolo, the defense is legit. How are you using the content on those video boards to still hype up those guys when people aren't there?
Yeah, so we really have to do our best, I feel, to provide a sense of normalcy for the guys on the field. I mean, we know there's the canned crowd noise that we have to play, right? I know you had that conversation with Kyle and the Saints and talking through that a little bit. So we know we have to do that, but to some degree, we have to provide a sense of some bit of normalcy for these guys. I think the other approach is we have to realize that our audience has changed. It is now 100% the players on the field and what's going to get them motivated, what is going to keep them engaged. So a lot of our strategy is dramatically changed from when we used to have fans in the building. So some of that is, we worked this off season with our player engagement team to reach out to the players' families, to source some videos that could provide some motivation for the team. We had no idea what we were going to get, and we got a beautiful gem from Bruce Kittle, from the Kittle family. We expect nothing less of him in a luchador mask, dancing around to "Y'all Gonna Make Me Lose My Mind."
That's my dad. That's my dad in my lucha mask. Dad? Dad! That's pretty funny. Bruce! Woo! 85. I'm going to try to channel that energy.
It was great, and I had no idea that George Kittle was going to be mic'd up on week 1. And we played that video on the video board, and he's over there pointing out to the guys in the huddle like that's his dad. So there was a little bit of risk involved too. I had no idea if that was going to be too distracting, but we saw it I saw it in my office, and I was like, this gets me hype. So I definitely want to play that for George and for the team. So yeah, it definitely is a different approach in terms of how we look at motivating the guys. We play the music that they want to hear, as opposed to more of the mainstream stuff that we would play for the fans in the stands, something more middle of the road. It's definitely more hip hop, rap, whatever the guys. We solicited them. We asked, what do you guys want to hear, so that we can play that during commercial breaks.
Your content's changed over the last couple of months to be geared towards solely them. How has that relationship kind of improved since the season started?
It's more so about our relationship with the football operations side. So it's everybody on that side that interacts with the players. They have a great relationship with them. We have limited, obviously. I really only get to interact with them at either events or through media day via a computer, like I mentioned in the off season. But other than that, we work with our football operations side, and they really help us out by reaching out to the players and letting them know, hey, this is what we plan to do, or this is what we want to do for in stadium. So it's a good collaborative effort between us and our football operations team.
Okay, awesome. So since fans can't see any pregame or postgame stuff while either entering the stadium or leaving the stadium, what have you guys been doing to reach them digitally or on social before the game and after the game?
So we launched, this is the first time we actually did this. We used to do a pregame, very quick live stream from the field. It was called our Keys to the Game, and we would do that with our senior team reporter, Kiana Martin. And it was great. We would bring in different guests. We'd bring in celebrities that we would have on, and it was quick. It was about 2 minutes or so live from the field, in pregame. Well, we wanted to take that, one step further this year and really try to give fans that access to seeing player warmups. A lot of that coverage isn't taken on a traditional broadcast of a game. There's little clips here and there, but really that's one of the key aspects of coming into the venue so early. So we wanted to give them that coverage. And then we also wanted to provide some different analysis, from different guests. So this past home opener specifically, it was unbeknownst to me, but Jerry Rice was actually in the house. He stopped by the set, kind of kicked off the pregame show. But when the goat shows up, you let the goat talk. So, he can do whatever he wants. But then we also had an alumni, Dennis Brown, who's local to the area, who's on some of our affiliates here, who came in to co-host the show with Kiana, provide that, that player perspective. And then we also did an interview with an alumni, JJ Stokes, to get some different perspective as well. So that's our hope moving forward, is to provide that pregame experience for our fans, give them something completely biased to tune into, and hear from alumni and really play along as well. We also partnered with Excite. I think there's a couple other teams out there who are using the Zio platform to do some interactive gaming components as well. So we wanted to provide not only great content, but we wanted to give fans an opportunity to interact and really engage, whether that's trivia or polling, or just see what some of the other fans think about either the matchup or a player going into the game.
Real quick, if I'm a 49ers fan, I want to engage with all that stuff. Where can I find it? Is it on the app? Is it on the website? Where is it?
Yeah, it's on the app, and we'll be on 49ers.com and then YouTube as well. So we're taking baby steps as we kind of inch forward on this, but definitely for the next game, Sunday Night Football against the Eagles, you can definitely tune in on 49ers.com or YouTube, or in the app. The app has the most opportunity for that interactivity that I was mentioning. Awesome.
Okay, great. Before I let you go, you have a whole team that's behind you that are making it possible. It's not just Laura Johnson by herself. This is your opportunity to give shout outs to your team members and just talk about how cool it is to work with them and how proud you are of getting through this weird season together.
Yeah, I hope I have a long time, and this isn't like, the Emmys or the Oscars and I get a rap music.
You're not going to get the hook on your neck
at the end of this. So yeah, I definitely have to shout out the entire team. So Aaron Kennedy, who's been grinding it out in the control room, trying to make sure everything has been ready to go from a technical standpoint. More to come on that. Hopefully we can share that soon in terms of some advancements that we're even making during this weird time, right? During this pandemic, we're still making advancements. Justin Drum, who's our associate producer, Billy Barnes on the logistics side, just getting crew into the building is, kind of challenging,
right.
But, complete shout out to him and our stadium operations team for just helping us get everyone into the building. And then AJ Murray, who's been doing our motion graphics, some killer graphics for not only the players in the stadium, but hopeful that we'll have fans return at some point here so they can see this great graphics package. And then DC Abramson, who's our mascot program manager for kind of keeping everything up in terms of liveliness and spirit in the stadium as well. And I certainly, have to give a shout out too. I saw Kyle's interview, and, it's amazing during this pandemic how many all of us have really come together during this time, whether that's, Abby at the Patriots, Liz at the Broncos, Eric at the Eagles, a lot of us in just different, we're technically, foes on the field, but
right.
off the field, we all try to help each other and say, hey, this is what we're doing here, or what are you guys seeing there? Really trying to share documents, share knowledge as much as possible. There really isn't, I don't think at this point, there really isn't a secret in terms of like what's going to work. And there's certainly people who have fans that are coming into the building. And so there's some of that knowledge that we're all trying to gain too, of, what's it like when you have a limited amount of fans, and what is your tactic? What are you doing? How does that affect everything from content to also logistics? So we're trying to gain as much perspective as possible. And it's really great to see all of us really come together and share that knowledge and really try to see each other succeed during this very odd time and how we approach it.
Runners up to the Super Bowl last year, but I can say you guys are Super Bowl champs in the content game. Keep up the great work, Laura. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good luck the rest of the way, and hope to see you soon. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Kristian. Appreciate it.